Welcome to the E-Z-MRP tutorials. My name is Jeff, and today we are going to build the widget using the Make Report. In the supply side, I have already set our current inventory levels to where they need to be for this tutorial, so we don't need to make any changes. Let's run the calculator before we do anything. The calculator's running nice and fast, less than a second to run it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take a look at the what to make report. We want to look at the net only report. Now, the SA2 is in demand here, and we need to start building the SA2 by October 9th. So, because it says by October 9th, if we start the build on October 9th, we've started it too late. We want to start the build on October 8th. That's why it says order by. Due date means that the due date that this assembly is to be completed is October 13th. For 50 pieces, currently there is no inventory and there's no work orders created. So it's supplied by none. And we have a quantity on hand of 0. We have safety stock, none. We have 0 safety stock requirements. So currently we are negative 50, which is an action item. In regards to the widget, we have a safety stock issue. Our safety stock requirement is 110, and currently we only have 100 widgets in inventory. Therefore, we are 10 short of meeting our safety stock requirements, so we need to build 10 more widgets. We have a due date and an order date of December 30th, 1999. The reason why we default all safety stock to December 30th of 1999 is because we never want that requirement to show as late. It's always an action item. You do not have to build safety stock. So I'm going to make a copy, or I'm going to print, however, or I'm going to set it up on my other monitor. But I want to save my Make Report, because my Make Report is going to tell me what I need to do in my supply side. Back to the supply side, to SA2, and like it says here, I need a due date of 10/8. So I need to start the build by 10/8. My due date is 10/13/2018. So I'm going to put in my due date of 10/13/2018. And my work order is WO100, work order 100. Because I know that the SA1 is in the top level, is in the first level of the bill of materials for the widget, I am going to put a / in front of it to indicate, in front of the work order number, to indicate that this SA1 white box is in the first level of the bill of materials for the widgets. And this is going to be for a quantity of 50. Now to my widget, I need 10 for my safety stock. So I am going to put in my safety stock. I'm going to make it the same date, 18, and I'm just going to label it stock. Now I may want to do a little bit of math here. If I only put in an order of 10, I have 100. I know that this work order is going to consume 50, and I'm only going to build 10 more. So once this consumes 50, I will only have 50 remaining. And if I only build 10 more, then I'm going to have a total quantity of only 60 on hand. That still puts me short of another 50. So I'm still going to be short of my safety stock. So what I want to do is I want to build 60 widgets. Now I'm going to run my calculator, go back to my what to make report, make sure it's set for net only, and now I have a few more requirements that have come up because of the added 60 widgets that I need to build. So I am going to save this. And this is what it's telling me. SA1 black boxes. I need to start building, so I need to start building by October 4th. So I really need to start that build on October 3rd. The builds have to be completed on October 13th. I need 20 for stock, and I need 120 for work order 100. Here, SA2, I have a requirement of October 9th, which I need to start really by October 8th. They need to be completed by October 13th, 60 for stock and 50 for work order 100. Now notice the 60 for stock is going to partially be provided by inventory. So I only need 10 for stock, and I need 60 for the widget. That's what our make report is telling us. And the widget, I have December 30th of 1999. Again, this is because of our safety stock requirements. We have 110. I only have 100 in stock, so I have a negative 100. What you need to understand about safety stock is safety stock never goes away. It'll always remain an action item until you build the safety stock assemblies and you put them in the inventory. That is the only way to alleviate that action item. So, starting with our SA1 report, SA1 is saying we have 50 here. We have a requirement of 50 for this order. And we have to build some for our safety stock. So what I may want to do is, since I already have 50, let's see here. There's 2 of them. So I need 100 for my work order 100. And I need 20 more. So we'll just do what it says. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add these together and put them on one order, because I have enough here for my work order 085. I need some more for my work order 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a safety stock of 40. And for work order, and again, a forward slash indicating that this is the first level of the widget. And I am going to build 100 for our work order. Okay, and let's go to our SA2. It says I need 60 for stock, which will be provided partially by inventory, so I will need 10. Then I need 50 for the work order 100, so I need 60. So I'm going to just do a little bit of math. I may do this a little bit different than how the Make report is telling me to do this. What I'm going to do is I am going to build for safety stock. I am going to build 30 for safety stock. And for my work order 100, I'm going to build 50. And again, forward slash to indicate that the SA2 is in the first level of the bomb. Or what I could do is I could just add it. So I have 50 there. I still have 60. We'll do this. We'll just back this up. And notice I can delete this line by highlighting the indicator button. So if I highlight that, right click, hit cut, it deletes the line. And I'm just going to add it to my work order here. And this would be for and I am going to build 50 more. So I'm going to do a total of 100 all together. Then my widget is saying I still have 10 there. So let's see, I don't believe we need to build anything for our widget because I have enough. I have 110 being built. However, I'm going to consume 50. I will have 50 left over, so I will have a total of 160. Okay? So we're going to rerun our calculator and see if we're correct in our calculation. And take another look at our Make report. And this is good. The only requirement we have is for 10 for safety stock, which we've already created that work order. So we have now built enough work orders to suffice the Make report. So this is how you use the Make report. Now, what I'm going to do is, now that I have built all of my work orders, I am going to go ahead and build all of my work orders. So I'm going to go ahead and put them out to WIP. So I go to SA1 and I am going to release 50 of the 085s. And here's my audit record. Now I'm going to release 100. And how did that turn into 4,000? Oops, I must have hit a wrong button. So we want 40 there. Okay. So we're going to do 100. And it says auto adjust inventory for kit of 100. So at this point, we're drawing down the inventory. And now we've got our safety stock requirement. And I'm going to go ahead and release my safety stock requirement, and I will auto adjust it. Yes. Now notice, because I released, and I did this on purpose, I want to demonstrate, because I released these before I had adequate raw material, it created shortages in my shortage report for the Comp 2s and Comp 4s. So before I release any work orders, I want to make sure I have enough raw material before I release it. So before I release the SA2 and I release the widgets, I'm going to go ahead and create a purchase order for enough Comp 2 and Comp 4 and Comp 3s. So how I do that is I go into my buy report, my what to buy report. It says I got to run my calculator first. So I run my calculator and I go to my buy report, and I only want to look at my net only format. Now I'm going to do the same thing that I did with my make report. I'm going to make a copy of this so that I can do make my purchase orders as I need them. So I'm going to go over this with you. So Comp 2 mirrors, right now I've exceeded my safety stock because I have 0 on hand. I had 0 on hand. So once you exceed E-Z-MRP, all raw material is defaulted at 0 safety stock. So anytime you go negative of 0, that's instant safety stock. So I need 1,140 pieces of 1,140 mirrors Comp 2. Notice I do not have a purchase order. It says none. So I need to make a purchase order for the mirrors. Chewing gum. I have safety stock for 1,900 pieces. So I'm negative 1,900 pieces right out of the chute. And the reason why is because I had 0 on hand. So I'm a negative 19. And then I have safety stock of 180 more pieces, which requires 2,000, which requires another 180 pieces, which brings us up to 2,080 short. Then for work order 100 requires 600 pieces. That brings us to a total of 2,680 pieces short. And I need them in stock. I need them in-house by August 8th to meet production. So I need to write a PO for those for the bubble gum in the amount of 2,680 pieces. Now we go to comp 4. We see that we have safety stock requirements, and it exceeds our safety stock by quantity on hand, 1,900. We have 2,000 required here. We have a total remaining amount, negative 2,000. So we need 2,000 comp 4s. So I'm going to go ahead and write my purchase orders. And I am going to put them all on the same purchase order. And I am going to create a new purchase order. So I add a purchase order, put in my today's date, and I need it here by, I need this order received here by 9/8/2018. So that would be September 8th. I apologize. So I need it here by September 8th. That falls on Sunday, so we want it in by Friday the 7th. Select my vendor and save my order. Go to my detail side, and I am going to create this purchase order based off what I need. Now, I do understand that you're going to be placing these orders with different vendors. So you need to build these as you see fit. So comp 2, we need that by 9/7. We need 1,140 pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and order 2,000. Comp 3, I need 2,680 pieces. So I'm going to put in an order of 3,000. And comp 4, I need an order of 2,000. So I want extra, so I'm going to put in an order of 5,000. Well, actually, I ordered these in spools. So I'm going to go ahead and order 500 spools. That'll give us more than enough than what we need. Now notice this says posted. This says posted. These boxes are not checked. That tells me that these lines are not posted to the supply side. So I need to post these to the supply side. I have one of two ways of doing it. I can post it right here using this button in the purchase order, or I can go to the post purchase orders in the main menu for the purchase orders. I select my purchase order, and then I hit post purchase orders. Yes. Now, if I go to my supply side in my material planning, and I look at comp 2, there's my new purchase order right here. And if I go to comp 3, there's my purchase order for 3,000. Then if I go to comp 4, there's my order for my spools. Remember, I ordered 500 spools, so I'm getting 50,000 feet, because the feet to the unit of measure to the bomb is by foot, but we buy it by the spool of 1,000 feet per spool. And this is one thing I can do. I have two ways of receiving a purchase order. I can receive the purchase order from here, from the supply side. And it says purchase unit of measure spool multiplier 100 bomb foot convert. Yes. So it's 100 feet, not 1,000 feet. So we received 500,000 feet of comp 4. Uh-oh, something went. Okay, so I'm going to change this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to change this. So I'm going to leave that at 0. And I am going to go ahead, because it didn't hold it and I made a mistake. I should have, when it said add to inventory, I should have clicked yes, and I didn't. So I'm just going to add it directly into my inventory. And now I've adjusted it up. I've got 50,000 on hand. So now I have 50,000. Now what I can do is I can go into my shortage report and I can relieve all of my comp 4s because I have enough in inventory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to relieve my shortage. It says OK to continue. Yes. Update inventory for issue of 400. Yes. I'm going to draw that inventory quantity down. I'm going to do the same for this line. And it is saying relieve shortage of 1,000. Yes. OK to continue. Yes. Update inventory for issue of 1,000. Yes, because I want to draw down my inventories. I'm putting it right to that past build. And for work order 085, same. Relieve shortage of 500. Yes. So OK to continue. Yes. Update inventory for 500. Yes. So now I've relieved my shortages for the comp 4s. And if I go into my supply side and I look at comp 4, my inventory is correct. I've drawn it down. I only have 48,100 feet left in inventory. So I'm going to show you how to receive the rest of that PO in the purchase order module. In the purchase order module, I'm going to go to receiving, select find, go to my purchase order, and right here, what I'm going to do is comp 4, we received those. I'm going to put that at 0. And I'm going to receive these 2 lines. So 1 line of comp 2s. Shortage exists for this part of comp 2. And relieve the so it says shortages exist for part number comp 2, and relieve the shortage after receiving is complete. So when we're done with this, we need to go to our shortage list, just like we did with the comp 4s, and we need to relieve that inventory to what we kitted for our past widgets, or the work orders that we released for SA1, for subassembly 1. And here is my receiving document. So I'm going to go to my shortage report, and I am going to relieve all of my shortages. Okay, all of my shortages are relieved. Quantity short is now 0. So I exit. Now if I go back into my shortages, I get there are no shortages. And this should always be the condition of your data. You shouldn't have any shortages, except for every now and then you have an exception. So now we have enough raw material for the rest of our build. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to release the builds for safety stock of the sub-assembly white boxes. And for work order 100. And now those are released. Now those are all in WIP. So right now we are building those for WIP. I am not going to release the widgets until all the sub-assemblies are done. So we're going to run our calculator real quick. And we're just going to take a look at our what to make report again. Again, we're looking really good. We don't have any additional needs. We have enough work orders to fulfill all of our requirements. We know we built the extra 10 to meet our safety stock demand, so we don't have anything to do with the make report. And looking at the buy report, notice we don't have any issues here either, other than a safety stock issue. And that's for the Comp 3 bubble gum. And it says we're still going to be 1,580 pieces short. However, remember what I told you about safety stock. Safety stock remains a requirement until you have the part in inventory, and we do. So we may be short on bubble gum. But let's just see what we've got here. Well, let's take a look. So let's go back to our bubble gum. And we are short. Look, 1580. And the reason why I'm showing you that is it can be a little deceptive when you're looking at those safety items. Always go back to the supply side to make sure you have enough, which we obviously do not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm just going to call my vendor. And I'm going to send my parts truck down to my vendor today and pick up the remaining 1580 I need for my job. So I'm going to get two. So we're going to do 2470-1. And you may even have like SPL run, special run, and I want to pick up 2,000. I'm going to rerun my calculator real quick. A couple of hours goes by, and now I have my bubble gum. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to receive in my bubble gum. Or actually, I already received it. So let's do this. Change that. Increase quantity on hand. No. Okay. So I changed that back. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this. I'm going to receive 3,000. It says increase quantity on hand for receipt of 3,000. The last time, the reason why I made a mistake, the last time was I accidentally hit no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit yes, and I'm going to add those in. Shortage exists against this part, relieve them now. So I've already got those shortages. There they are. Takes me right to them. So I'm going to select my line, and I'm going to relieve my shortage. I'm going to select my other line, and I'm going to relieve my shortage. So now I have 1,420 pieces of bubble gum available. So we're going to say a few hours went by, all of our sub-assemblies are done. So now what we are going to do is we are going to complete all of our sub-assemblies. And I am going to complete 50. Increase quantity on hand for completion of 50 on work order 085. Yes. Now I'm going to complete 100. It says increase quantity on hand for completion of 100 on work order 100. Yes. And I'm going to complete my safety stock of 40. Increase quantity on hand for completion of 40 on safety stock. Yes. So as you can see, we now have 240 completed subassembly 1s in inventory. Let's go to our SA2s. We are going to complete our 30 for safety stock. Increase quantity on hand for completion of 30. Yes. And then I'm going to complete my 100 for work order 100. Increase quantity on hand for completion 100. Yes. So now I have a total of 130 subassemblies. So I have 240 subassembly 1s, 130 subassembly 2s. Now when I go to release my widgets, they're going to consume those subassemblies. So I'm going to release 60 for safety stock. Auto adjust inventory for kit of 60. Yes. Now I've drawn down all of my inventory for those 60s. And now for work order 100, release 50 more. Yes. And okay. So now I've drawn down all of my inventory. So I'm going to run my calculator again. Now if I go back to my supply side and I look at my subassemblies, I only have 20 black boxes left. And then SA2, I only have 20 SA2s left. So we've drawn down our subassemblies. So now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to complete our widgets. Complete 60. And then I'm going to complete 50. And now I'm going to run my calculator. And just take a look at our widgets real quick. We have 210 widgets on hand. So what I'm going to do is I am going to run our make report. See what our make report tells us. Net only. No records selected. Check data selection criteria. The reason why there are no records is because there's no work orders to be built. We've done everything we were supposed to do. So if I take a look at my full report, still no records. We don't have anything to do in the make report. Take a look at our buy report. Net only. Nothing. I have no requirements. We have enough inventory until our next batch. So this is how you use the supply side using your make report and your buy report. Now I do apologize. I've been thinking of scenarios as I've been going through this, and I made a couple of mistakes while doing this, and this is just to demonstrate. And this does happen, is if you do make a mistake, it creates a shortage, you relieve your shortages. You always want to relieve your shortages. What you want to use to see if you have any shortages is you want to use your buy report and your make report. Your make report and your buy report is what will tell you. Your make report will tell you if you're short any subassemblies. Your buy report will tell you if you're short any subcontract or buy materials. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please give me a call. Our number is 1-800-617-1684. I will do another tutorial like this, but a little bit more thought out and not just on the spur of the moment like I'm doing now. As I had one of our customers ask me to do this tutorial so they have it in the morning to go over it with one of their new employees.